There comes a moment in every life when your peace is tested, not by storms, not by tragedy, but by people. People who twist your words, people who push your buttons, people who try everything to shake your spirit just to see if you'll break. Let me tell you something real right now. Calm isn't weakness. It's not silence. It's strength. It's the kind of strength that takes years to build, because staying calm, especially when the world is trying to pull you apart, takes more power than most will ever understand. When they insult you, when they lie on your name, when they mock you just to feel bigger, you have two choices: react and lose control, or train yourself to rise above the noise. And that's what this is about. Training your soul, your mind, and your heart to stand like a mountain, unmoved, untouched, because peace is not something you stumble on. It's something you build brick by brick, day by day. So no matter what they do, you hold your ground. You own your breath, because your calm is your power. There's something you need to understand deep in your bones. You will never control how the world spins. You can't stop people from lying. You can't stop them from leaving. You can't prevent betrayal, gossip, or disrespect. Life will always be messy. People will always bring drama. But your greatest weapon isn't in stopping the chaos. It's in how you respond to it. When the world gets loud, your silence can be louder. When they expect a reaction, your stillness becomes your shield. Most people let situations define them. They give their power to every trigger, every comment, every disrespect. They let someone's ignorance steal their peace. And that's the difference between the strong and the unstable. The strong feel everything, but they choose their response with wisdom, not because they're numb, but because they know their energy is sacred. And if you don't learn how to master your reaction, you'll spend your whole life dancing to the tune of someone else's chaos. So ask yourself, do you want peace, or do you want to keep reacting to everything that doesn't even deserve your energy? That's the difference between growth and being stuck in the same loop for the rest of your life. They'll poke at you, they'll try to trigger your past, your pain, your ego, but here's the truth. They don't matter. What matters is whether or not you give them access to your emotions. See, when you're reactive, you give them control. When someone can press a button and instantly make you angry, bitter, defensive, they own you. Let that sink in. They might be in the wrong, but you're the one losing your peace. And peace is too expensive to keep giving away. You have to train your mind to say, no, not this time. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to prove your worth in every room. You don't have to match energy with someone who thrives on chaos. That's not your purpose. Your mission isn't to please, it's to stay aligned. So the next time someone tries to shake your foundation, remember that your silence, your composure, your refusal to be dragged into foolishness, that's your response. That's your power. You're not ignoring the fire. They're just not worth the fuel. You see, people think reacting means strength, that if you yell louder, hit harder, respond quicker, you're winning. But that's not power. That's immaturity. Anyone can lash out. Anyone can throw a punch with their words or their actions. But staying calm, that's mastery. That takes a level of discipline most people never reach. It's not because they can't. They just never trained themselves to. They never sat in their discomfort long enough to learn from it. They never paused long enough to think before responding. They never grew tired enough of the emotional roller coaster to finally step off. But you've seen what reacting gets you. It gets you regret. It gets you stress. It gets you repeating cycles that break your soul. So now you're choosing differently. You're learning that your response defines your future. When you stay grounded, when you breathe before you speak, when you walk away instead of striking back, you win a battle most never even fight. You're not weak. You're wise. You've realized your emotions are not your enemy. They're signals. But you decide whether you let them steer the ship or just watch them pass like waves. The world doesn't get easier, but you can get stronger. You can train your thoughts like a warrior trains for battle, calmly, quietly, consistently. Every time you resist reacting, you level up. Every moment you take a breath instead of taking the bait, you evolve. People will say things just to get a rise out of you, not because your peace irritates their demons. Your composure exposes their chaos, and instead of asking themselves why they're bothered by your calm, they'll try to break it. That's how some people function. They feed off your reactions. Don't give them that meal. Let them starve. Let them sit in their own storm while you remain the calm in yours. It's not about proving you're better. It's about choosing peace over pettiness. It's about recognizing that some battles are distractions, not tests. Not everything requires your attendance. And not everyone deserves your reaction. You're not avoiding confrontation. You're elevating. Because real growth is when you don't allow your mood to be controlled by someone else's lack of control. Think about how much pain can be avoided if you just pause before reacting. 1 second of silence could save you days of regret. One breath could keep you from burning bridges you actually needed. And that's the kind of discipline nobody teaches us growing up. We're taught to defend, to attack, to protect our pride, but nobody tells us that sometimes the greatest strength is in letting go. Letting go of the need to be right. Letting go of the temptation to clap back. Letting go of the desire to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. That's where peace lives, in the letting go. When you stop reacting to every little thing, you create space for healing. You create room for clarity. You give yourself permission to think instead of simply react. And in that space, something powerful grows: self-control. And that, my friend, is what separates the peaceful from the panicked, the wise from the wounded. You've been through too much to keep handing your peace to people who don't even care what it cost you. There are people who will misunderstand your calm. They'll say you've changed, that you've gone cold, that you don't care. Let them talk. They don't know how long it took you to get here. They didn't see the nights you cried because you reacted too fast. They didn't feel the shame after you let someone's words destroy your peace. They didn't carry the weight of regret like you did. So when you start responding with silence, with calm, with grace, that's not apathy. That's wisdom earned in pain. And the ones who get it, they'll respect it. Because calm people aren't cold people. They're people who've been through fire and learned not to throw more gasoline. So don't let their judgment shake you. You don't owe anyone your energy. You don't owe them an explanation for your peace. What you owe is loyalty to yourself. Loyalty to the version of you that wants freedom, emotional freedom, spiritual freedom, mental freedom. And that only comes when you take back the one thing nobody can ever touch unless you let them: your response. Life will continue testing you. The higher you go, the more people will try to pull you down. The more light you carry, the more darkness will come to distract it. That's the game. But now you know the rules. And the rule is simple: don't play their game. Don't give them the show. Let them throw their tantrums. Let them gossip, lie, throw shade. That's their noise. Don't let it become yours. Every time you respond with calm, with quiet strength, with unwavering presence, you shift the atmosphere. You remind people that power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just breathes deeply and walks away. And the beautiful part? Your peace begins to multiply. It starts seeping into every area of your life. You think clearer. You sleep deeper. You love purer. Because when your emotions no longer rule you, your soul begins to rise. And no matter what they do, what they say, or how they try to provoke you, you've trained for this. You've mastered your response. And now, nothing owns you anymore. Discipline isn't about pretending nothing affects you. It's not about walking around cold or emotionless. No, real discipline is about feeling everything: the anger, the betrayal, the frustration, and still making a conscious decision to respond with power, not panic. That's the kind of training warriors go through, not just in body, but in mind. See, most people let their emotions drive the car, then act surprised when they crash. You're learning how to feel the heat without letting it burn your whole life down. You're learning that emotions are like wild horses. They're strong, they're unpredictable, but they can be tamed. And once you harness that emotional energy, you don't just survive, you lead. You don't just endure, you rise. That's what separates a soldier from a warrior. One takes orders from chaos, the other takes command with clarity. And if you want to win in life, you have to train for it daily. No shortcuts, no skipping reps. Every moment you choose calm over conflict is another brick in the foundation of your legacy. You can't just wish for peace, you've got to work for it every single day. Discipline starts in the dark. When no one's watching, when the world is sleeping and your thoughts are screaming. That's when the real battle happens. Not in the spotlight, not in front of the crowd, but in those quiet, lonely hours when your past tries to whisper lies into your future. That's when you practice stillness. That's when you breathe through the rage, the tears, the temptation to fall back into the old version of yourself. Because discipline isn't born in comfort. It's forged in fire. The fire of rejection, the fire of being misunderstood, the fire of watching people test your patience just to see if you'll break. But instead of reacting, you train, you journal, you pray, you walk away, you meditate, you do the hard things that no one claps for, because you're building something no one can take away. That's what makes warriors different. They don't react to the noise, they listen to their soul. You see, emotional discipline is like sharpening a blade. You can have all the passion in the world, but if you don't refine it, it turns into recklessness. Think about a sword. It's deadly when wielded with skill, but dangerous even to its owner if swung blindly. That's your emotions. Anger isn't evil. Sadness isn't weakness. Even fear has a purpose. But without discipline, they'll destroy you from the inside out. You'll say things you can't take back. You'll make decisions you'll regret for years. You'll keep repeating patterns that cost you peace, relationships, even your future. But when you discipline your emotions, you don't deny them. You direct them like a seasoned warrior. You know when to strike, when to stay still, and when to walk away. And that level of control isn't just powerful, it's rare. Most people never reach it because they're too addicted to reaction. But you're built different. You're learning how to be the calm in the storm, not because the storm stopped, but because you stopped letting it own you. There's this false belief that being emotional means you're weak. But it's not about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally wise. Emotions are signals, not commands. And when you stop treating every feeling like a green light to act, you begin to lead your life with intentionality. Warriors don't cry less. They cry with purpose. They don't feel less, they feel everything and still stay focused. That's the key. To let emotion inform you, but never control you. And how do you get there? Through practice. Daily practice. You practice patience when it would be easier to yell. You practice forgiveness when vengeance feels justified. You practice humility when pride is screaming in your chest. It's in those moments that strength is built. Not the kind of strength people post online. I'm talking about the quiet strength that lets you walk through storms without raising your voice. The kind of strength that chooses peace even when war would feel more satisfying. That's warrior discipline. That's spiritual maturity. That's how you rise. Every day you wake up, you're going to face emotional temptations. Someone will cut you off. Someone will disrespect you. Someone will doubt you, dismiss you, maybe even betray you. And in that moment, you'll be tempted to react, to defend, to retaliate. But remember, discipline is a decision. And the decision you make in that 1 second can cost you a relationship or build your legacy. That one choice can take you back into the pit you climbed out of or elevate you to the next level of your purpose. Emotions are temporary, but consequences last. So when your heart is racing and your fists are clenched, ask yourself, is this reaction worth my peace? Is this argument worth my future? If it's not, let it go. Let it go. You don't lose anything by walking away from nonsense. You don't look weak by staying silent. You look like someone who has something more important to protect, their destiny. Because calm is not weakness. Calm is the badge of those who've mastered themselves. You must train like you're preparing for war. Because in life, battles won't stop, but the enemy isn't always outside. Sometimes the greatest fight is inside your own head. It's the part of you that still wants revenge. The part of you that wants to be loud, angry, reckless. The part of you that says they deserve my wrath. But that part isn't your truth. It's your old self. And every time you choose discipline over impulse, you starve that old self. You tell it you don't run this show anymore. And that's how healing begins. Not with a big moment, not with a speech, but with small daily choices. The choice to pause, the choice to breathe, the choice to rise above. And the more you practice it, the stronger you get. Until one day someone throws the same insult at you and it doesn't land. Because you're no longer reacting from your wounds. You're responding. That's the kind of power no one can take away from you. So let the world do what it does. Let people try to push your buttons. Let the storms rise. You've been training for this. Your calm isn't luck, it's earned. Your silence isn't weakness, it's trained power. Your smile in the middle of chaos is the fruit of thousands of invisible decisions. And you'll keep choosing it because now you know every second you spend mastering your emotions is the second you spend mastering your life. Let others be loud, let them be reactive. You're on a mission. You're not here to prove anything to anyone. You're here to grow, to lead, to build peace that no one can break. And that kind of strength, that kind of emotional discipline, that's not just survival. That's legacy. That's freedom. That's who you are becoming. Some people aren't in your life to build you. They're in your life to test you. They bring drama, lies, insults, disrespect. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because something about your calm unsettles their chaos. When people haven't found peace within themselves, they hate seeing it in someone else. You become a mirror they can't stand to look at. So what do? They poke, they gossip, they try to trigger your reactions just to bring you down to their level. But hear me now. Don't fall for it. Let their chaos speak for them. Let your calm speak for you. When you stay composed while everything around you is screaming for attention, you send a message without ever opening your mouth. I'm built different. Their noise isn't your cue to respond. It's your chance to rise. It's your moment to prove that your peace is no accident. It's earned, it's guarded, and it's sacred. You ever notice how people who are hurting the most are the loudest in the room? The ones who insult the quickest, accuse the fastest, lash out the hardest? They're usually the ones battling wars inside. And it's not your job to join their war. It's not your assignment to match their dysfunction. Your mission is to stay still while they unravel. That's not pride, it's wisdom. You're not ignoring the disrespect. You're choosing not to feed it. You're not weak for walking away. You're strong because you could explode and didn't. The moment you stop needing to clap back is the moment you start winning. Because every time someone tries to drag you into their storm and you refuse to lose your peace, you become more powerful than any insult they throw. Your silence cuts deeper than their noise. Your stillness shakes them more than any scream. That's strength that can't be faked. Their chaos is loud, but you're steady. They throw words like weapons, but you respond like a fortress. And you know why? Because you've outgrown the need to fight battles that don't grow you. You've outgrown the urge to always be right. You've outgrown the hunger for revenge. That's not because you're better, it's because you've been there. You've danced with anger. You've lost to bitterness. You've tasted the consequences of emotional reaction, and it cost you peace. So now every time someone brings chaos, you treat it like a test, and you pass. Not by arguing, not by shouting, but by standing firm in who you are. That's real strength. Strength isn't just holding your ground. It's doing it without picking up their poison. Let them act a fool. Let them unravel. Your job isn't to fix them. Your job is to not become them. When someone brings chaos into your space, you have a choice. Absorb it or reflect it. When they gossip about you, will you engage? When they question your worth, will you prove yourself? When they try to embarrass you, will you get petty? Or will you stand tall, smile quietly, and let their own energy reveal who they are? Because if you stay calm long enough, people will show you everything you need to know. You won't need to confront them. You won't need to beg for the truth. Chaos reveals character, and your calm reveals yours. You don't have to announce who you are. Just live it. Speak it through your reactions. Let their loudness echo while you remain grounded. That stillness, that silence, that unbothered spirit, it terrifies the ones who can't control you. So keep showing them. Keep letting them wonder how you stay so solid in a world built to break you. Let their chaos fuel your purpose. Let their hate fuel your focus. Every jab, every betrayal, every rumor they start is a free reminder of how far you've come. You used to react. You used to explode. You used to match energy. But now you multiply peace. You protect peace. You are peace. Let that be your badge of honor. Don't look for revenge, look for growth. Don't look to prove them wrong, prove yourself right. Their chaos is a reflection of their struggle, not your value. Don't internalize their noise. Let it stay where it belongs, outside of you. You're building something greater than ego, greater than pride. You're building a life with depth, clarity, and purpose. So stop waiting for them to applaud your calm. Most won't understand it, some will resent it. But that doesn't mean you stop walking in it. Keep walking and let your steps be the loudest part of your answer. Sometimes the greatest revenge is peace. Sometimes the most powerful clapback is elevation. When they come at you with chaos and you just keep growing, keep shining, keep glowing, that's when they feel it the most. Because they wanted you to fall apart. They wanted to see you rage. They wanted to see you crumble under the weight of their mess. But you didn't. And that burns them more than anything you could say. Your success in silence, your smile in storms, your joy in spite of their efforts. That's divine strength. That's soul power. You weren't built to entertain every fire they light. You were built to walk through it without getting burned. And every time you do, you show the world chaos doesn't own you. People don't define you. And storms don't shake you. You are calm. You are grounded. You are unshakable. So let them bring the noise. Let them throw their tantrums. You stay focused. You keep building. You keep rising. Because nothing they do will ever touch what's inside you unless you hand them the key. And you're not doing that anymore. You've trained too hard. You've cried too long. You've healed too much to let someone drag you back into the place you escaped. Let their chaos be loud. Let your strength be louder. Because peace isn't just the absence of problems. It's the presence of power. And now you know. Your calm isn't just for you. It's your testimony. It's your armor. It's your victory. Don't react, rise. Don't prove, move, and don't break, build. This is your moment. You are stronger than the storm because you became the calm. There comes a time in every person's life when they must choose. Do I keep letting my emotions run wild, or do I take back control and walk the path of discipline? Because life isn't going to stop being chaotic. People won't suddenly become kind. Circumstances won't always turn in your favor. But what can change, what must change, is you. The way you show up, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself when the world throws fire at your feet. You've walked through pain. You've faced disappointment. You've seen betrayal. But look at you, still standing, still breathing, still fighting to become someone better. That's not weakness. That's strength. True strength. Not the kind that shouts to be seen, but the kind that stands silently in the fire and says, I will not be moved. Disciplining your emotions isn't about pretending to be unaffected. It's about becoming so grounded, so self-aware that nothing can steal your peace unless you hand it over. And you're done handing it over. You're done giving away your power for temporary satisfaction. You're learning to sit in discomfort and grow through it. To resist the urge to explode, not because you're scared, but because you're why. Because now you understand the way you respond shapes your reality. Let their chaos reveal your strength. Let their noise echo while you walk in silence. Let their immaturity contrast your evolution. You don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to react to every provocation. You are here to build, not to battle. You are here to rise, not to wrestle in the mud. Every time you choose calm over conflict, peace over pettiness, growth over grudges, you become unstoppable. So keep training, keep rising, keep showing the world what unshakable discipline looks like. Because the real victory isn't just in what you overcome, it's in who you become through the process. Thank you for walking this journey. Thank you for standing in your truth. Thank you for choosing growth, even when it hurts. You are stronger than you know, and your calm will lead you to a life beyond anything chaos could ever touch. God bless you. Keep going. Stay grounded. Stay powerful, and never stop becoming.